defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mass.
Well, first. Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on prep.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I remember that. People in there going crazy. Loud, wild, great game, fun team, 14,534.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for
I
making
remember
this
that
broadcast
place.
possible.
Man, that was fun to be in last.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Good morning.
You doing all right?
Doing all right.
Good to see you.
Doing all right.
It's different to be back in here. Everything changes, man. You walk in, your stand's gone, everything, you can't log on. Good to be back after a week away from this place. What a weekend, huh? What a weekend. Between the NFL, we saw one of the most, I don't know, insanely, bizarrely stupid endings that I've ever seen in an NFL game yesterday. We saw the Lobos in the pit, and JJ, I know you were in transit. The pit was the pit last night.
It was.
I know, did you watch the game?
Yeah, luckily we got settled about 6:15, 6:20 Eastern time, so perfect to sit down and watch the game yesterday.
Yeah, and JJ, of course, is in Florida for Lobo women's basketball, and we'll get into what he's doing there. But I don't know how much NFL you saw, but I walked into the pit. I got there right before tip-off as I came down the ramp. Teams were already down. And JJ, was a familiar feel that you kind of, I don't know how to explain it. You forget something, you knew you really enjoyed something. And you remember what it was like. It's almost like you were a kid. You remember what you did when you were a kid. You remember a place or something. Oh yeah, I remember. But you go back there and it's like, oh, that's right. The energy. Just looking around, and there were very few holes as far as seating. The energy was up. The place was loud. It was. Now I'm not going to tell you it was a pit game. I don't think that, JJ, but it was. It was special last night. It was different, and this team's 11-0, and so obviously being one of the final 4 or 5 undefeated teams left in America has a lot to do with it. Rick Pitino, a Hall of Famer, was in the building, and very rarely do people come out to see a coach, right? If this was Iona coached by you or me or anybody else, Lobo fan would have been, what are we doing playing these guys on a Sunday? Really, these guys? All right, because you wouldn't know the difference, and it's like. But that was a good team. JJ was special, and at 11-0, I told you a couple of weeks ago, they've got an opportunity to have a special season.
They have an opportunity to have a really special season, and I said it last week, and I'll continue to say it. This season will be a disappointment if they don't make the NCAA tournament.
At this point, yeah.
This team is ready to go. They should have enough on the resume if they're consistent in Mountain West play. Look at the matchups against San Diego State. You got to at least split that. You run off a good amount of wins that should have them in position to be a bubble team, so it's not all about what you do in Las Vegas. This team is good enough. They're going to have the opportunities to capitalize on that. And you are so right about the Richard versus Rick Pitino thing. I thought Richard handled it well.
Yeah.
It's hard for him to always be compared to his dad, to always have to answer questions, but the way he handled it last week when he was asked by everyone about it, I think he put it in a good perspective, understanding how many opportunities he got because he's Rick Pitino's son, but at some point, he's still coaching because of what he's able to do, because he's not just going to keep getting hired to be a head coach just because he's Rick Pitino's son. And you're seeing that with this basketball team. You're seeing that with how he's been able to put the team together over the last 2 years. And playing that game last night, it was a good basketball team, but it was just such an incredible moment because it brought an energy back to the Pit. I think it was a Pit game in terms of atmosphere, probably not one of the classics that you're going to remember when it comes down to who they played, the ending of it, but the storylines around it against a good basketball team, the Pit needed that because the Lobos played their good opponents on the road this season. So it was the first time that the Pit fans, the Lobo fans, had that experience at the Pit this year.
I heard him with Richard Pitino on with you guys on Friday morning, and I thought he handled, to your point, the week extremely well. He said the right things. This is about me versus my dad. He talked about one of the things that really hit me was when he talked about, and I'm paraphrasing, and you'll remember this better, where if I compare myself to my dad, I'm probably going to fall short, something along those lines, right? I mean, his dad's one of the most accomplished coaches to ever do what they're doing, right? There's not that many who have done more in their careers in college basketball than Rick Pitino, correct? And so Richard said, I appreciate what he said. And to your point, yeah, he acknowledged that maybe he got a chance or two because of who his father is. But at some point, you have to do things on your own merit, and he is certainly doing that. And in a short time, Lobo basketball is, and I don't know if they're back, but we're going to find out when you get into league play here next week, when they start going through that schedule and going through the rigors of league play. And I remember he also said this, maybe it was in the pregame show yesterday, that the team has not faced any adversity really yet, right? They haven't. There hasn't been a game where they've been down big and had to come back. Oh, maybe it was the St. Mary's game, right? Where they had to come back, but they've been relatively healthy, and they've got something going, and they've got people. Look, this town has been starving for Lobo basketball to come back. And the other thing they told me last night, JJ. Everybody tells me the Lobo fans are aging out, nobody cares. Well, they're there. Obviously, there's some there. Obviously, that they haven't all aged out and died and moved on or whatever. Last night showed me that, I don't know, there's at least 14,500 of them who give a damn and will come out. And it was, like I said, that wasn't the most magical Pit game ever. It wasn't, I've been to a lot of 26 years worth of those games. But it was a special night because it's been a minute, and it's about a basketball team, not a moment. And it's about something that I feel is growing, not just a fleet like the Nevada game, the year they weren't very good and they beat that Nevada team. This one felt nice, but not over the top, ridiculously special. It was really, really nice with the moment that they had, and I think what Richard's got going with a good team. People understand it, and they've been hungry.
Yeah, I think the Nevada game, if we're trying to figure out what a Pit game is, that would be kind of the definition of it. Is you're the underdog, team comes in and you do something crazy on your home court. Yesterday was a reminder of what the Pit can be when the Lobos are good and they're the favorites, because they came in. It was only a 2.5 point game last time I checked in terms of the Lobos being favored over Iona, but they held serve at home. The fan base needed something at home to rally around, just what you said. And you look at the amount of people that were there. I was surprised, too, when I was going through my social media feed, some of the people that I knew that ended up at the game. They're getting people's attention. And this isn't anymore just, the Lobos, it's a hype train. No, you better be on this train, because it is going somewhere this season, and it's going to be fun to watch in March.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. We're playing radio with you on the week before Christmas after what a crazy busy weekend around here, huh? But with everything that was going on, you had NFL on Saturday, a team coming back from 30 from the dead in the Vikings to win that game. That was unbelievable. The Lobos yesterday, I think we had a pretty fun bowl game on Saturday. Rocky Long has announced that he is gone, so we've got a ton to do. So it's going to be us and you, and I've got a ton to go through, a week's worth of stuff that well, I mean, I got in my mind. I know you do, JJ. The NFL yesterday was bonkers. Bowl games are happening. Actually, there's been some pretty decent bowl games already. If you watched, did you see the tension between Boise State and North Texas?
Yes, at the end there.
I mean, you got two coaches. You know, we had two coaches in our game who I sat at dinner on Thursday night, and they're both wearing sports coats and sat next to each other, and I couldn't separate them at the end. They were because they enjoyed each other so much and talking about respect. And at the end, they both. I mean, we have a great. And those two guys down in Frisco are going at each other. Like they
right move, by the way. Go for two at the end. That is what you do.
Look, we're gonna get into that. Did you stay till the end?
No, I was actually watching the end of the game at Channel 7 on Saturday night. So there was a lot of anxious people at the end of the game wondering if we're going to have overtime or not and how that factors into everything.
How'd the postgame show go?
It was great. It was just really cool to be on, be able to catch that audience because, so many people. Channel 7, they were watching the New Mexico Bowl at the ending, and they're able to come out of that and do the bowl highlights and then get into the local sports. It was a lot of fun on Saturday night.
I saw Bethany Miller last night, and she said we're sitting around, and she told me you were there, and said everybody was watching the game and everybody was tuned in, and hopefully they were all around America. Here, everybody was standing on the sideline. What do you think? Are they going to go for two if they score? Yeah, dude, it's freaking cold, man. He doesn't want to stand around anymore. He's going for two so they can get the heck out of here. I think it was the right move, too, and we'll get into that as well. All right, we're open for you at 505-246-0610. It's how to get to us today, 505-246-0610. I'm going through a week's worth of email. I'll get there as well. Twitter, _JJ Buck, Facebook, The OD in the AM. Adrian is producing on ProView Networks. You can watch the show, Comcast Channel 26 around the state, or on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. Steph is here. Hello, Steph.
Good morning.
Did you stay warm out there the other day? I didn't think it was that crazy cold. Did you?
Well, I had a lot so I wasn't too cold, but no, it wasn't. There was no wind. Oh, that was.
I thought the day was glorious. To be honest,
beautiful.
I was running around, JJ. I was running around in a quarter zip and a vest all day until kickoff, and then I put on a couple more layers. But I will tell you this, and we'll get into it a little bit. I never got uncomfortably cold, and I was on the field the whole first half and the whole fourth quarter.
Wow.
And I never got on. Now I had a lot of adrenaline. I was moving around, but I mean, it was. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was balmy, but. Could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Right.
I thought I'm going to tell you this, we had an amazing week for Albuquerque and for New Mexico. 505-246, we'll talk about that, the NFL. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
How wrestling.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers, they maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force...
In the pit, 82-74 was the victory last night. 82-74. Lobos over Iona, they are 11-0 and one of the last remaining undefeateds in America and off to a terrific start. So we're here for you if you want to talk about that. I know so many of you were at the pit last night and enjoyed that atmosphere, and so get in on it. I want to get into the NFL. JJ, I know you were out at the bowl game on Saturday, and since we're talking atmosphere, and I know it wasn't a sold-out crowd. 22,209 was the number, which is the largest attended football game in the state of New Mexico this year. The game was great. I thought, and I need you, and Steph, you were there too. And I know I saw Stephanie out there, but you guys, I'm going to lean on both of you a little bit for a second, and then we'll go to the phones, because obviously I'm biased and I'm in my own little world, right? But I thought the atmosphere around it, I thought the game, I thought the energy, and I thought the day was terrific. And you don't have to blow smoke at me. I know we didn't talk about this, but what was your thoughts as you guys were out there?
The atmosphere was good. You knew BYU was going to show up. They did. You had SMU sprinkled in. I think the local fan base, the hardcore football fan, bought into the game because of the matchup BYU-SMU. Solid day. And you pull into the parking lot, and that west lot was full. So it felt like, all right, there's something going on here. And you got to kind of take your time, move around. A lot of people hustling and bustling. It was cold, but if you prepare for it, you know it's a winter day outside. You're going to be ready to go. And it was fun to be out there. And as always, appreciated the game. The friends and family enjoyed it. And you got yourself a heck of a game, man. It comes down to a 2-point conversion at the end. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, it was a fun day. How'd you feel out there?
Right? I thought it was so much fun. It's kind of one of those events that I look forward to signing up for, because any other time I don't think I'd have family or friends that would really be like, yeah, let me go freeze out there. But, you know, at least the crew here loves to go out there. And so, you know, you get to go out there and see something that maybe you do see it at the regular tailgates, but whenever you see a community do come together for other teams, I love that. You know, there was so much support. BYU, I love their band. That was fun. You know, it was such a great atmosphere. Everybody's so happy, nice. They come up and talk to you, you know, like they're just there for fun. They just love it.
My favorite
Tons
part
of
about
kids.
it.
That's a key point to it, too. Because no one is just pissed off asking to fire someone.
Say that again. Is that what?
I'm saying that's a good point, because you can be just a football fan and go enjoy the experience and not be sitting there going, oh, we need to fire the coach or this thing sucks. You can just enjoy the day. You don't get to do that all that often.
That's my favorite thing about it, right? Everybody, Steph, you hit it, and I'm glad you said this because, again, unsolicited. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's hanging out with good people. It was a great day. All right, 505-246-0610. Steph, my assistant producer's down, so if you could kind of whisper in my ear.
Speech.
Who is that, Speech?
Yes.
Who's there? All right. Speech, good morning to you. How are you?
How you doing? Go to the ball, buddy.
How about that one?
I thought we could never outdo the Buffalo game, but Saturday's game just outdid it. I mean, yes, we were completely dead in the first half, but that's why they have halftime. You can regroup, reboot. Patrick Peterson told Kirk Cousins, hey, we're going to get you a couple stops. All you need to do is score 5 touchdowns, and we got this. I mean, how good is our offense? Kirk had 42 yards in the first half and 440 in the second half. I mean, we are just awesome. I mean, can you believe how good we would do if we finally put four quarters together?
So
I mean,
it's the most lopsided line score I've ever seen. Right, I'm looking
yes.
at, right. You look at the first and second quarter, and the Colts scored 17 points and 16 points, and to 0-0. And then you look at the other side, and the third and fourth, the Vikings scored 14 and 22. While the Colts scored 3. It's the most unbalanced, crazy. I left my office, JJ. We were getting ready, and I went out, started running around the lots, and it was 33-0. I'm like, what have I watched? I got Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook in my fantasy playoffs, and what the hell's going on? And then people, as I'm hanging banners, and literally, people are telling me about the Vikings coming back. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I kind of got an idea of what happened. Yeah, it was that was one of the craziest games, but not the craziest game of the weekend. One of the craziest. I would say the Vikings have played in 2 of the best games this year. That game and the one that they stole from the Bills. Is that fair?
The Buffalo game, yes. And I mean, I think JJ has just put his stamp on MVP this year, and I think Kevin O'Connell should be Coach of the Year this year.
That's because you're a Viking fan. All right, Speech. Good to hear you, buddy. Thanks for the call. Kevin O'Connell should be up for coach in a conversation for coaching. I don't know if he's going to win Coach of the Year, but he absolutely should be in the conversation. Do you disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree with that. But that's also why I don't think Minnesota is awesome. I appreciate that they win games late, and that is a good trait. But this team makes zero sense to me. You've won 11 games, and you're down 33-0 at halftime to the Colts. Like, I have no idea which Minnesota Vikings team is going to show up in the postseason. I don't know what level of belief we should have in this team. It obviously should be higher because the thing is, they're winning these games. Or they didn't pull Dallas Cowboys where they lost it at the end.
Ooh, yeah.
So they're finding ways to win these close games. They're sitting there 11-3. It is one of the most bizarre records and teams we've seen in a long time in the NFL.
That was that might have been the most crazy game, but the most crazy ending I've ever seen. Maybe that's not fair. Ever seen. But maybe ever seen was that Raiders game yesterday. When Jacoby Myers, look, okay, people say all the time that you have to understand situations. And we've seen the lateral play. You know when you see the lateral play? You see the lateral play when you are losing, and it's the last play of the game, and that you're hoping that something crazy, stupid happens. Not when you are tied and it is going to overtime. Because, I don't know, a quarter of the time we see that crazy lateral play, JJ ends up with a defensive touchdown. Ball's on the ground, and a lineman's got it or something silly, and somebody runs the other way with it. Well, yesterday, Jacoby Myers, if you haven't seen this, and I think you have, Raiders and Patriots are tied. They're going to overtime. There's 3 seconds left, and they run a draw play with Ramondre Stevenson, the Patriots do. Basically, it's the next best thing to kneeling down, which next time they will kneel down. And he runs, gets a nice chunk of yards, and then laterals the ball to Jacoby Myers, a receiver. And Jacoby Myers sets in motion the crazy Stanford band play. Except for he throws it backwards, and Chandler Jones of the Raiders, the other team, catches the ball like 15 yards back and then just trucks Mac Jones, the quarterback, hand to the face like he's a child, runs the other way and they win the game. It was one of the most bizarre, stupid, crazy endings I've ever seen in my life. I'm still, and I've watched this thing a bunch of times, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
No one knows what's going on. Did Jacoby Myers think they were losing? Like, what are they trying to do at that point in time? Ramondre Stevenson should have never pitched the ball in the first place. This is a Bill Belichick team looking like they're being coached by Nathaniel Hackett, looking like they're being coached by a one-and-done head coach, because what they did at the end of the game was absolutely atrocious, man. And I don't even know if they've been able to scoop Mac Jones off that field yet. Just how hard Chandler Jones stuffed that man into the turf. And he had no shot at making that tackle in that moment. It was a bizarre ending, and we can run it down because Patriots fans are going to sit there and scream that they should have never been in that position. The Keelan Cole touchdown was his toe on the line. It sure looked like it. It sure looked like it. But the referees called it a touchdown, so now you have to find out how to respond. A bad call goes against you, and all you do is literally throw the game away to the other team.
It was unbelievable. How much Belichick's got to take a hit on this. How much you give him a hit? Because he says their coach, he shouldn't have thrown his team under the bus, his players. What do you want him to say? It's my fault? I mean, they ran that play. It's a pretty safe play, a draw play, run up the middle. Let's get out of here. I guess you take a knee. But if you coach him in the situation, you tell him the guy's do it. Are you supposed to take the hit for the player as a coach?
No, that one is all on the players. That it really is, because I don't think Joe Judge, I don't think Bill Belichick was like, oh, by the way, if you're about to get tackled, let's just start throwing the football around in a tie game.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Richard Pitino will be with us coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Talk about the atmosphere in the pit last night and the big 82-74 win over Iona. And the Lobos are 11-0. And the Lobos are rolling. There's only a handful of teams undefeated left in America. And the Lobos are one of them. Utah State's one of them, by the way, which is crazy. Chris Jans in Mississippi State is one of them. I'm going to reach out to him this week, too. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This Christmas, just say no to chain store chocolate. Skip the
We
malls
would
and
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers, they maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Lions who are knocking on the door. Seattle's still there. But the Lions are knocking on the door after that victory over the Jets yesterday. The Jets, Jets, really? Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta, J.J. Buck steps in for A. Marie today. Good to be back in the chair. Good to be back out here. I'm reading emails. I get a laugh at some of these too. JJ, it's the people. I know people love to hate. I'm well aware of that. And I got a text from a good buddy in Vegas who sent me the weather report at kickoff in Albuquerque, and it said 32 degrees or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but look at the game we got, and you got a 33-3 game. You know what I mean? I've got these game. Can you replay your game next week, Jeff? When I'm back in town, get these two teams together, and that way I can go and temperatures in the mid 50s. Ken was grinning. He says, I was grinning ear to ear with the most presage OD words ever ringing in my ear. Weather's great in Albuquerque except when you need it to be. Let's review the last 2 months. Near record balloon fiesta cancellations. Second coldest global football post time in University Stadium history. Coldest New Mexico Bowl in history. Can I just tell you, the only people who were complaining that it was too cold were the ones sitting on the couch. I swear to you.
There were people, I saw kids in shorts.
Yes.
Some people didn't even have jackets.
That was not a good idea, though.
I'm like,
Danny
what
Gonzalez
is
was running around in
going
shorts.
on?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Danny looked cold, man.
Yeah,
it was cold.
It was cold.
There's nothing wrong with wearing pants or a jacket.
Doesn't make you softer.
it was, yeah. It could have been a lot warmer. Yes. But it was not as bad as in my mind it was going to be.
Well, I love the people who just relish in what they think is your failure. Like, haha, it was cold, told you. And they just
Who thought it was going to be
like
warm
Ken says,
in
I was
December?
grinning ear to ear. Good for you. Here's the deal. Like, I walked that whole stadium, you guys. I walked that whole parking lot. Well, I didn't walk it. I was in my golf cart. But, JJ, it was cold. Did you see anybody who was miserable?
No. Because if you went to the game, you were prepared. The only people that were miserable with people that were like, oh, it's too cold, so I'm not going to go. So you're not cold, so what are you complaining about? You're at home. Watch the game.
Football is played in the cold weather this time of year almost everywhere.
They
right?
go hand in hand almost,
Yeah,
football and cold weather.
We'll watch dome games, climate controlled, and we'll watch games in California and Florida and Texas. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought we got as good a day as we could have got.
Yeah.
Like, we were watching the report. We got no wind. We got no. It was a beautiful afternoon for tailgating. Super sunny. Like, JJ, I'm reading these. I get these all the time, and I got. I look at the people on social media. Like, Ken, I don't know you. I don't think, and I appreciate all your contributions to the show, and I hope you're not as miserable as it comes off. I really, I do. I just. People want to relish. I'm going to tell you this, by every metric, and I haven't seen the TV numbers. Saturday was a success for New Mexico. Saturday was a success for Albuquerque. I got texts from everywhere in America. Well, maybe not everywhere. All over America. How about that? About how good it looked. About how, look. ESPN's happy. I got to believe the city and the state are happy. JJ, these are the ones that you just go, man, people just want you to fail. You know what I mean? People hate success.
Yeah, if you went to the game, you were prepared for what you were going to face at night in winter, and you dealt with it and enjoyed the game.
And you had a good time. Yeah, and you had a good time. Paul, let's go. 505-246-0610. Hello, Paul.
Good morning, gentlemen. Long time no talk. I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas coming up here
Merry
soon.
Christmas.
But I just want to tell you, I got invited. My friends from Hooters, the owners of Hooters, and all my friends there, the regulars. I got invited to this bowl game. I just said, what the heck? I'm not from here. I'm an SC guy. I'm going to give it a shot. Let's go watch BYU and SMU. A great game. And tailgating was probably one of the most fun times I've had at a sports event. I mean, the weather was perfect. It wasn't freezing cold. The Rumpelman shots were flowing. The beers were flowing. We were having a great time, and we were on the sidelines there. And the game was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I'm glad you went out and had fun. And you know what? It was chilly, but and I don't know about you. I never got uncomfortable, and it was a good time. So, Paul, I'm glad you were there, and hopefully you'll come back.
Yeah, you guys take care. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, see you, Paul.
Right on.
Thanks. David, good morning, David. How you doing?
Okay, I don't think people hate. I just think they have differing opinions. And ultimately, anybody who says, okay, you're a hater because you disagree with my opinion, isn't meaning they're not.
That's not what I said. David, I didn't say that.
The more reason I was calling was ultimately
wrong.
Networks cover games, and not everybody will go to the game. In fact, networks can cover radio coverage of the very game. I wonder how much money networks made off of things that would never put their butt in the seat, meaning television. And ironically, in a joke format, the wind, the cold would show to New Yorkers, you don't have to go to New Mexico and just be like blizzard or like whatever hot. Like Phoenix, you can come here and be like your winter cold, bundle your jacket. It might have been good for tourism. The main reason I was calling, though, is now that the NFL playoffs are kind of focusing, who do you think will advance? Who do you think will get in? I could turn this into the Detroit Lion Love Hour, but I think they get in.
Yeah, they're knocking on the door, man.
And I think I would have thought they would have pushed out the Giants, but I think they're going to push out the Redskins or the Commanders.
Yeah, I think that's. And I thought yesterday was a huge loss for Washington. Thanks, David. Appreciate you. I think the Lions are knocking on the door, and they're playing as well as anybody right now, JJ. I mean, as well as anybody. Beating the Jets yesterday was huge. Look out, because and is he coach of the year if they get in?
Man, the coach of the year is fascinating. Just the dynamics you have from the really good teams to the teams we didn't think were going to be good but are in playoff contention. Yes, the debate for NFL Coach of the Year is as deep as it's ever been in this conversation. Now we look at the Detroit Lions. That was a good win. It's on the road. Guess what? It was cold. They're playing football in New York. And the Jets' defense is really good. That's what kept them in that game. And I think the assumption was that once Zach Wilson was starting, the initial feel was like, oh, this is going to be easy. It's going to be a cakewalk for the Lions. And it wasn't the case. And it was a good game for them to get in that situation on the road against a tough defense, come out on top. And now you're sitting there looking at a team that's 7-7. Unbelievable for the Lions.
No, I think it's unbelievable. And on his first point, I've never said a hater is someone who has a different opinion. I actually invite different opinions. But when you're going to look at what happened on Saturday, and all you're going to say is it's cold. It was cold. The subject line is grinning ear to ear because it was so cold. It wasn't that bad, and that's not a differing opinion. Like David, I invite different opinions. I actually makes me think, and hopefully a different opinion makes you think. No. That's not what I'm saying. Is a hater. A hater is one who is relishing in they don't want you to succeed. They don't want anybody. I mean, whatever it is. There's haters on local football, on Aggie football, basketball, whatever. And we've got our haters too. A hater's not someone who's got a differing opinion. That's hardly what I'm saying at all. But if your whole thing is, well, I mean, it was cold and ha-ha, and I got a bunch of that. Okay, do your thing. But I'm going to tell you that everybody who went out there had a good time. Now, I haven't gotten in and listened to the voicemails yet at the office. We'll see. There were a couple, like the parking lot filled up on the lot you were talking about, that west. I know there were some people with passes weren't allowed in, and I'm not sure what happened there. But I mean, that might be my biggest thing. I messed up one promotion with one partner. I did. But other than that, I don't know, man. If it was too cold for you to go, I get it, man. Don't go.
Well, that's also why they put the games on TV, because there are people that do watch it on TV.
Quite a few, I'm going to guess. All right, 505-246-0610. Richard Pitino is going to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. And we'll talk to him about the win over Iona yesterday, 82-74, in a pit that felt very familiar. And it was really, really nice yesterday. So we'll do that coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Hey, business owners, you get it. Computers, network, remote access, all vital to how businesses operate. And now hackers threaten everything about your business. ABQ IT is there to provide state-of-the-art cybersecurity, and more business owners realize that's a necessary part of protecting their data. ABQIT created a business model that gives you peace of mind, knowing your system is secure. They will watch for any activity that's malicious, protect your operation, keep it working efficiently. Best of all, they do it with one predictable cost. So do you get several bills now? One from the internet provider, one from the cybersecurity company, another when you buy new equipment. With ABQIT, there's no hourly rate or labor billing. There's no hidden fees or out-of-scope charges. Your rate will be predictable, and it will not change. Business owners get a free assessment from ABQIT, and don't worry about computer problems again. ABQIT is now right there for you to help out with anything you need computer security equipment-wise. Give them a call or find them online at ABQIT. Let me give you that to you again, abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudahl with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first. Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
A perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
Quick this shot, another shot up with 5 seconds. Transition 3 is up, and it's hit at the buzzer by Ian Tolingsberg. Picture perfect execution. Ball it hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually have. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera.
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors
later today. JJ, are the Lobos top 25 yet? Will they be in the poll today?
They'll be on the cusp.
So you think they're going to be like,
I think they'll be really close.
26, 27?
26 to 30 range.
Okay, so you don't think they crack it yet, huh? They need to beat what, a Utah State, a San Diego State.
They're a worthy team to be ranked.
I think so.
Like you look at their schedule. They have 3 good wins away from the pit, 2 true road games, a neutral site game, a quality opponent that they just beat yesterday to improve to 11-0. I would not be shocked if there's a 24-25 by their name this week.
Find out later today. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Lobos beat Iona 82-74 last night in the pit. A familiar feel in the pit. It just felt, oh, yeah, I remember this. It was a good time. Richard Pitino is going to join us coming up at 8 o'clock. Rudy, good morning to you. How are you?
Well, let's see if I have a voice. You know, what a sports weekend, Jeff.
It was a terrific.
First of all, I wanted to just, say my undying gratitude for you and Rudy Davalos and all the people I've met on the board. What a great game. It's always been just the highlight of my year to go out and talk to all those guys. Had a nice conversation with Coach Kalani Sitake. Talked a little bit to Coach Lashley. You know, these were 2 class programs that played the game the right way, right? That was great football. Watching that game just made me feel really good about the game of college football and the validity of what we're doing here and what the bowl means to a lot of people. And I talked to friends that watched the game back on the East Coast, and they said it looked fantastic. And, you know, when you get it over the air like that, that's great. Switching gears, man, boy, did that remind me of the old days in the pit. And so we can have all that back. That was a fantastic crowd. I mean, people were into it from the get-go. When was the last time you heard "Let's Go Lobos" by 14,000 people?
Yeah, it was different.
You know?
It felt familiar, Rudy. I'm not gonna, like, you've been to a lot of games. I don't know that I think that was a pit game or one of the all-time classics, but it felt like the building was coming back alive. The fan base was coming back alive. It just felt familiar, right? And it was really nice.
You know, the difference was it wasn't Colorado State or Wyoming or San Diego State that would have notched it up a little bit. It was Iona. But that's a Hall of Fame coach, and he didn't have to come here, and he didn't have to do that, and he didn't have to put his team on the line either. But by doing that, Rick Pitino showed me what a great coach he really is to come in and accept the challenge. And, man, that's a really good Iona team. Those guys are really, really good. I don't know who's going to beat them in their conference, but those guys are long, athletic. They could shoot the ball. They just kept making shots, and I just thought, man, they're gonna catch us. And I think Josiah Alec and Odeze learned some really important lessons. And what can you say about Mash and House? Those guys are amazing. And KJ, what a game! It was a great game, and I think the Lobos are on their way. I don't see them letting down against Prairie View A&M. So, you know, we can start our conference season undefeated, and we got Colorado State right out of the box. So it looks like we're going to have some fun.
Enjoy the week, Rudy. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes.
It was a good day last night. A good day yesterday in the pit. Hey, Marcos, good morning to you. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, and buenos dias, guys. Congratulations, Jeff. The New Mexico Bowl was awesome. The Lobo dogs were delicious. The hot chocolate was hot. You know, it was a great night out there. Who do you pull for? You know, there were some guys behind us rationalizing, hey, we don't like Texas, but we dislike BYU more than we dislike Texas. So they were pulling from SMU. I don't know if I can follow Rudy, but the pit was the pit last night. Reminded me of the late 80s, 90s, and I had my binoculars. You know, I can't see that well these days, but I was checking out Rick Pitino's Armani suit, and he had on like some $500 Oxford loafers. And I look over to our coach, Richard, and I'm convinced this guy has no ego, man. He's all about the X's and O's. He's all about winning. He's all about UNM. We're really lucky to have him as a coach here.
Yeah,
Thank you guys. Have a good morning.
That's a great call. I think Richard, and look, Richard is going to be him. He's not trying to be his dad. He's trying to be him. And I was actually thinking of that, JJ, going in. I figured Rick would wear a suit. He didn't wear a tie, went open collar, but that's his style. That's what he does. I was wondering what Richard was going to do. What was the game? Was it obviously it was last year? What was the game he wore a suit? Remember, it was a big deal that he wore a suit coming down the ramp, and remember it was a big deal. I don't remember which.
Well, it's also Rick he's old school, and that's still
Right.
that's what coaches did back in the day, and now coaches just wear slacks and pullovers.
Yeah.
And tennis shoes.
Yeah, I it's not a big deal what he wore, but to Marcos's point, he is who he is. He's his own guy. It's not a big ego thing, and I was wondering how that was going to play. I think Richard is comfortable in his own skin. I think Richard is comfortable being who he is, doing it the way he's doing it, and if he turns this thing around, and I know some of you say he's already done it, and maybe that's right because they're 11-0. But if he gets into the NCAA tournament this year, and at 11-0, to your point, JJ, they put themselves in a position to not have to rely on 3 days in Vegas. Now they can't go 500 in league play. They've got to have a good league run, but they're in a position now where they've done the work in November and so far in December that they've got an opportunity to be a bubble team. If he turns this thing around, I mean, he should be comfortable in his own skin. He has done it on his own merit. He has done something in 2 years here that is quite impressive, and I think he proved himself at Minnesota. He wasn't a bad coach at Minnesota. They had some good runs there. Richard Pitino in his own right, I think, has proven, don't you, that he's a pretty good coach in his own right.
Yes, he has.
He's going to join us next. Lobo basketball coach Richard Pitino after the big victory against Iona. They're 11-0. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Steph, and you and Adrian. Just because he's not right here in my site doesn't mean, he's not here. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. Glad you're with us on a beautiful Monday morning on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been.
Even early April. There are 363 Division I college basketball teams. 363. As we sit here on the 19th of December, only 5 of those teams are undefeated still. University of Connecticut, Purdue, Chris Jans over at Mississippi State's doing a nice job in his first year. They're undefeated. Utah State in the Mountain West, and the University of New Mexico at 11-0. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, glad you're with us after an 82-74 Lobo win over Iona in the pit last night. And I've told you this. I walked down the ramp, and it was a familiar feel. It was a feel that I remember what this felt like. The pit was full. You looked around, and all the corners, upstairs, downstairs, people were pumped. It was loud. It had that familiar buzz. And it was a fun night and a big victory. The head coach of the Lobos in his second year is Richard Pitino. He joins us this morning. Congratulations, Richard. Great night, great win.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. And kind of like you said, I mean, just the buzz going down that ramp, you could feel it. You know, so it's awesome for our fans and our community. It's great for our players, you know, to have that experience, especially with just the build-up of the non-conference and everything, to kind of get that going, you know, before obviously Christmas was a lot of fun.
You talked about the building, you've talked about the pit, you've talked about the fans, but it was a little different last night. Do you notice it? Did the guys notice it? Do you even talk about it? Because last night, and there's a few more notches to still up it, but do you talk about the difference in that feel last night and the way it was?
Yeah, I mean, you just tell them, you know, sometimes a great crowd can make you play poorly, as crazy as that sounds, or maybe a little bit differently than you normally would. So it doesn't matter where we play, you know, because you play in San Fran in a neutral site. It's like an 11 o'clock game with 500 people there. You try to get them to understand basketball is basketball. You got to play the same in front of a 14,500 crowd or a 500 crowd. You just got to not get too high, not get too low, and really just focus on yourself as well as the opponent, but also embrace that you as a team has rebuilt this fan base and got them engaged again. So embrace that, enjoy it, because you can't overlook that.
Meanwhile, good win over a good team, and you're 11-0, and your team is playing really well. And you saw zone defense last night. You've seen different things. Your team is playing well. I know you don't feel like you've maxed out yet, but they're in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, the storyline was certainly me versus my dad, and you know, I knew it would be that, and it is hard, but I just felt like it was worth it because I knew we'd get a great crowd in the non-conference. I assumed we'd be on a nationally televised stage, and that just helps the growth of the program. You know, recruits watch, you know, your fans get more engaged. So although the storyline was me versus my dad, it really wasn't that. It was New Mexico, who's undefeated, and an Iona team that may be the best team we played all year. I mean, they've got talent. They play hard. They're long. They scrap. They're not going to lose a lot of games. So it was a quality win for our program. But, you know, when you can get in year two that type of an environment, it really sells a lot for the future.
Global basketball coach Richard Pitino's with us this morning on the opening drive after beating Iona last night, 82-74.
Well, Richard, I know that Iona sees everything that you do. You see everything that Iona does. Was there anything that surprised you about that matchup last night? Because it seemed like you were ready for everything, at least got your team ready for everything that they were going to see.
Well, I mean, if there's one advantage to knowing your dad, like I would say probably more so than a different opponent was, I kind of figured he would play some zone just because we've been really good offensively. So we prepared for that. We prepared for their press. I mean, that's not surprising that they're going to press. That's all they do is press. But they thought they could wear House down. That was really the goal for them. And obviously House made some huge plays at the end, made, 11 for 11 from the foul line. But, you know, for the most part, I thought we were pretty prepared. They were prepared. They understood what we try to do. We understood what they tried to do. And it was just two really good teams gutting it out and trying to find a win.
You know, with that pressure that they wanted to put on Jalen House and Jamal Mashburn Jr., KJ Jenkins off the bench, 17 points. How big was he to open things up for everyone else?
I thought he was terrific. You know, we have not, KJ and Javante especially, have not shot the ball great. And I really do believe that they were both going to get it going. KJ had a little thumb deal with his right hand. I was a little concerned with that. But he just gutted it out. Donovan Dent off the bench, Sebastian Forsling off the bench. You need everybody. You know, it's hard to win. And every game, there's a... And everybody's got to be ready. And those guys off the bench were terrific.
I want to mention those two guys. There was a stretch in the first half. Morris went to the bench with his second foul. I thought there was a stretch where Sebastian gave you some minutes. I thought his post defense, especially on one particular possession, was terrific. He went down the other side on a break and had a terrific pass on a break for a dunk. Then he finished with a dunk. I thought his minutes early were really, really good. And one of the biggest plays I thought early in the game was the block on the break that Donovan had coming out of nowhere on a fast break. Look at the stat line. Those guys aren't jumping off the page, but I thought those two guys in the first half gave you really, really big minutes.
No doubt. Sebastian it was a good matchup for him because they play some really big guys, and, you know, it wasn't as much small ball as some other teams that we play, but he was ready to go. You know, I mean, it's hard for those guys when they don't play major minutes or they get DMPs, and it's just part of the sacrifice of being, you know, part of a team. And obviously Donovan Dent, I believe, is the best freshman in the Mountain West. He is just smooth. He's under control. And that block, I mean, it came out of nowhere. He's got an extra gear, and freshmen, sometimes it takes them a little while to figure out how to do that all the time. But he's a very, very talented player. And Sebastian's had such a up and down off season because of injuries and illness and so on. It was great for him to bounce back and get some good minutes.
Yeah, I consciously didn't ask about you and your dad early in this thing, but you brought it up. You glad it's over? I mean, it was great that he played this, and I think that it's, you know, they were on their way out to Hawaii and they're going to play in the Diamond Head, and it made sense schedule-wise, but he didn't have to. You glad it's over now? You don't have to talk about it anymore and just continue to talk about your team? Because I thought you handled it so well, and the things that you said are so right. But it was sexy. It was a good matchup, and I mean, your dad is who he is, man. He's one of the best who's ever done this, and was coming through Albuquerque, and it was exciting for these fans.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot for sure, but I knew that, and that's why Archie Miller and Sean Miller never want to play each other. The Drews never wanted to play each other, you know, because it is a lot. But the stage that we're at in the program, we need to regenerate local interest as well as national interest. We can't let this brand go backwards. It's got to go forwards. I mean, it's one of the best fan bases in college basketball, and we've got to wake it up. And so if I've got to answer some questions for a week long, I'll do it to generate, that interest. Now, it was a long week for sure. I try to be really respectful of anybody who ever wants to talk to me, but it was a little bit challenging. What I really liked about it, though, was when the game started, it was about two really good teams. And I said this after the game, my dad did not need to play that game. He knew it'd be a tough environment. He knew it'd be a 14, 15,000 crowd, but he did that obviously for me. But our community benefits from it. Our athletic department benefits from that. So really, really appreciative. But more than anything, I just love the fact that we got past it, and it was a great game. So it was a long week. I would say I'm lying if I said I wasn't a little bit relieved that it's over with and we can kind of focus. Because I've said this before, like, I don't love attention. That's not me. I want it to be all
about the kids. Yep.
Fan base. So it's good to. Sorry.
No, it cut out, and so I was. Your phone just cut out for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Don't. Did you get to go to dinner last night? Did you get to spend some time before they took off?
Yeah, it was great. My dad is notoriously horrendous after games if they lose, so I was grateful that he wasn't. So we were able to get together as a family and then go.
Yeah, I thought his advice when he said, continue to focus on what you do well and move on and not get complacent. I know I'm paraphrasing that. Can you share anything that you talked about after dinner? I know it's personal moments. I never ask about that stuff, but is there anything that you'd like to share or can from dinner last night?
No, I mean, I think when I got this opportunity, he told me, because he had coached in the pit, obviously, goes to a Final Four winning in here. He just said, you got to do it. That building is amazing. And I think part of him was, obviously you're frustrated with your own team when you lose a game, but I think he was really excited and proud of, in such a short time, not only did we win, but just the energy and the enthusement and the, excitement from our fans. I think it's a validation of him telling me why I should take this job, and it's a great spot. So I know he was proud of what we've got. He's also, excited to get back to work. I mean, when you're in season mode, so it's great. I mean, he hasn't been able to be out here much just because of all the in-season stuff, but it was awesome to be able to get all the family together before Christmas.
Richard, I want to get one more in on your players, and of course your standout guards, Jalen House, Jamal Mashburn Jr., they're always, compared to their fathers that well, but now you look at Mashburn, he scored 1,000 career points, just a consistency about his game. It's unbelievable, and that's a big milestone for him.
Yeah, I mean, I've told our, especially Jalen and Jamal this, this is not a knock on the media. It's everybody does this. You're always going to be compared to somebody. JJ and I talked about it the other day on the radio. Comparison is the thief of joy. It just is, and you can't try to compare yourself to an NBA player or a Hall of Fame coach, or in Jeff's case, a Hall of Fame radio guy as well. You've got to be able to just be comfortable in your own skin. You've got to put in the work. And with Jamal, nobody works harder. And I am so lucky that I was able to bring a culture guy with me here. He's a really good player, obviously, but his work just stands for itself. I mean, he'll be in there today, and he'll be putting in the work, and I'll be telling him to get out of the gym. So really proud of both of those guys that they're getting their moment, because 99.9% of the time it's awesome being the father of a coach or father of an NBA guy, but it can be a little bit frustrating at times, and those guys have got to be comfortable in their own skin and, be proud of what they've accomplished this young in their careers.
Hey, lastly, polls come out today. Aside from any incentives that there might be in a contract, that sort of stuff, I mean, how important would it be, or does it matter to have a number next to your name, whether it's today, next week, whenever it's going to be?
I can assure you there's not an incentive in my contract.
Yeah,
I'm going to check, though.
Yeah, no, you should.
You know what? Yeah, honestly, it's really not a big deal, but for our fans, I know they're fired up about it. My son, Jack, woke up and immediately came to our room and said, how do I find the rankings? I said, it's this afternoon. So I believe we deserve to be ranked. It'll be fun for our fan base and recruiting and so on. But at the end of the day, that's not the goal. We're more kind of into all the advanced analytics and all those things. But if it generates some national interest and helps in recruiting and our players really care about it, then I'm all for it. But we won't treat anything differently if we are ranked, that's for sure.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations. Appreciate you doing this morning. Keep doing it your way, because obviously it's woke up some fans. And I said earlier this morning, people tell me, the fan base has died off. Well, I don't know. I mean, it sure seemed that there were a lot of Lobo fans who were hungry for this and got it yesterday, and we'll be back. So keep doing what you're doing, and congratulations on the win yesterday. Good luck tomorrow night.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Richard Pitino, head basketball coach of the University of New Mexico. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Looking for Johnson. Pass deflected. Stolen by John Luis. He throws ahead. Oh, block shot in transition by Donovan as he sent away the offering from Brookshire.
Donovan Dent with the unbelievable block shot out of nowhere. That was Robert Portnoy and Hunter Green on the UNM Sports Radio Network yesterday. Lobos beat Iona 82-74. JJ, that was a play I was asking Coach Pitino about. I just thought that was such a, there's points in a game as you're opening a lead, stretching a lead, whatever it is. I thought that and the Forsling, there was a few minute period in there where that Sebastian was really good. And I know Coach said on the postgame show yesterday, JJ, that Sebastian got those minutes instead of Barima Sek because of the matchup. He said it was a really good matchup for him. And, you just see Richard's mark on this team and what he's doing. And right now the buttons he's pushing are working.
The key thing for this Lobo basketball team is they can handle multiple styles. They're not a one-trick pony. They can play up-tempo basketball. They've won in games that have been slugfests, that have slowed down St. Mary's, San Francisco. So they're a triple threat offensively. Defensively, they're showing you that they can handle multiple teams, and it's the little minutes that become big minutes. Sebastian Forsling, that stretch where he held his own in the paint. I don't know if he got a block shot, but he forced the concession shot. He grabbed the rebound. He was good when the ball was in his hands. He made sure to move it quickly to get it back to the guards to set the screen. He had the opportunity for a three-point play when they left him wide open in the lane. I don't remember the last time I saw that many dunks in a game at the Pit, with both teams attacking the rim. And so Forsling, it was a game where the forwards were stronger for Iona. Man, that Joseph kid was good, game long. And so, his minutes were maximized. We saw Barima Sek in the San Francisco game. It made more sense because they wanted more athleticism on the floor. So Pitino has the pieces, and he is putting the puzzle together nicely so far this season.
All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. JJ is in Florida. Where are you, in Tampa?
We're just outside of Tampa right now in Odessa, Florida.
Yeah, so tell the people why. I mean, you're not vacationing. That's why you're working
on
radio.
What is vacation? JJ Buck does not vacation. I don't get that kind of lifestyle. It's the Sun Coast Challenge, so it's a brand new tournament. This is the first year of the Sun Coast Challenge. It's going to be played at Pasco Hernando State College Gymnasium.
Oh, wow. All right, then. Then Lady Lobos will be playing who?
So tomorrow, UNM plays Old Dominion, and then Wednesday they play Mississippi State. Today, Mississippi State and Old Dominion will play each other, so we'll get a chance to scout both teams, watch them. It's an event that the founder is putting on for the sports community. It's free to go. They're taking donations for various charities when you show up, but they're really just trying to build the community around sports out here. And these are two really good opponents. Strong Sunbelt team in Old Dominion that's very similar to UNM in terms of where they sit in their conference and their expectations. And the Mississippi State, which is
SEC power.
Yeah, which they're this year's squad. When I was going down the roster, I was watching some of their games. They're close talent-wise to Arizona. They have those kind of recruits, those kind of players this season. This was a team that lost on a last-second shot back in 2018 in the NCAA tournament championship game. So they're a program that has history, first-year coach starting to get back to that level. So that's going to be a ridiculous challenge. But really, two good games back-to-back for the Lobos this week.
I don't think people realize Old Dominion was once a women's power in college basketball. So was Louisiana Tech back in the day. So that's good. So JJ will have those calls for you. All right, if you want to get in on Lobo football, you can. Rocky Long, we haven't talked about this, came out officially. I mean, I think we all heard it last week. And I told you when I was with you, at the time, I didn't think it was going to happen. And then I started hearing more and more. And, wow, I mean, it did. Rocky Long is the
defensive coordinator at Syracuse. When did it come out? Did you guys talk about it on Friday?
It was. I saw the tweet. I think it was ESPN's Adam Rittenberg. He put a tweet out like saying, "Hey, Syracuse is looking at Rocky Long to be their defensive coordinator." So that was like Tuesday morning, but that day was dominated by the Mike Leach news, and so it kind of flew under the radar. So Wednesday morning, we started discussing it. I had Ned James on the show. We're going back and forth, and the same thing happened. I ran into someone that's really in the know, and on Wednesday morning, and I was like, "Man, can you believe this rumor that's going around?" And the person was like, "It's not that crazy." And then that was the moment I was like, "Oh, okay, this could actually happen."
So, yeah, I know it really blew up Friday right after the luncheon, or during our luncheon, I guess. So we had the New Mexico Bowl luncheon, and people were telling me it's done, and I texted Danny and then talked to Danny Gonzalez right then about that. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me that was very surprised about that. It was officially announced at 11 a.m. on Saturday, but it was out as real stuff on Friday. Not that it's if Frank doesn't put out a release, it's not real until then. I mean, I'm well aware of that. That's when it becomes real. But it was real on Friday, and I know a lot of people are just really sad, upset, and I understand. I mean, as happy as you were when Rocky got here, then you're going to be upset when he leaves. I think there's a couple of layers to this, and I think there was something that was real that Rocky didn't want to get in Danny's way. And, if there was going to, what if they, you heard it this last year, well, Danny should step aside and Rocky should finish this thing out. And, Rocky doesn't want to be a head coach. He wants to coach ball. And I think he loves Danny and loves this place and feels like he set the stage for the defense, like the foundation is laying, for this defense. And obviously he got a great opportunity. What's he making, $1.5 million, $1.2 million? And somebody said, well, how much does he need? He's got a ton of money and he's 72. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, it's like beer. I mean, do you have too much money? Do you have too much beer? People.
Well, that would be actually doubling what they were paying their last defensive coordinator
at Syracuse. And what was he making? $2.25, $250 here?
Yeah.
I mean, that's substantial, right? I'm not going to blame. I'm not going to get mad at Rocky. In fact, I don't think a lot of people are. I think there's some who are surprised and don't understand it. But I do think that there's a piece of he just wanted to get out of Danny's, not be Danny's shadow, and let Danny do this thing. And then there's the opportunity, right? He had an opportunity to go do this. Him and Dino. If you go back to this thing and trace this, and we talked about this when I was on with you the other day, you go back to when Zach Arnett took that job. They were the story was Rocky was going to take it first. This was when Rocky was at San Diego State, and I remember all my Aztec buddies. Was Rocky really? He's not going to go to Syracuse to be defensive coordinator. He's going to freeze. With their geographical arrogance, anything below 50 degrees, you're going to freeze. And remember, Zach got the job for 9 days and went to Mississippi State, and so there was that familiarity in that relationship already. I'm not going to tell you I was celebrating this for Lobo football, but I don't think it's the doomsday that some people are telling me it is.
It is a layered conversation because there are people that will look at this and it will feel doomsday-ish because they'll see the challenge that Danny Gonzalez faces, as his seat is starting to heat up, coming off just a 2-win season. Why is Rocky leaving him at this moment in time? Or why are there so many kids in the transfer portal? Well, that's unfortunately just the way it is going to be regardless. If this team won 10 games, there'd probably be even more players in the transfer portal. That's the reality of it. So that's an unbelievable challenge for Lobo football. So there's a lot of that stuff on the surface. I think what you just said does make a ton of sense. Rocky just trying to want to get out of the way. Has he ever coached in a quote unquote power conference?
Rocky?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at Oregon State. He was at UCLA. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Now you say that's right. I forgot. I'm thinking this opportunity because I was into TCU stuff. I know they were not in the Big 12 then. So yeah, you're right. The UCLA stuff, but it's just another opportunity for him. Even when he says he's at the back end of his career, there's a lot that goes into it still, and there's a lot of work for Danny to do because I had a coach tell me from UNM that is the hardest position in the athletic department.
What's that?
Is being the head football coach at UNM.
Yeah, I mean, everything about it is yes. Yes.
I'm like, yep. And now he has to deal with this. You got signing day coming up, and you want to be excited, you want to be hyped, but you know that the class you're announcing, it's just going to be a small number because you have to just sit back and see how this transfer portal plays out. This is the world. If you're not recruiting the transfer portal, this is a year-to-year game, and football is never supposed to be this way. Football is about developing players, bringing kids in, getting them stronger, and you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, and let me put this at it. I don't care what your age is and how much money, and it's always funny when people talk about other people's money. And I always kind of, I chuckle a little bit. But Rocky was making about $300,000 here, and he's getting roughly $1.5 million, without bonuses at Syracuse. I don't know. Is that what's 5 times 3? Is that 15? Is that 5 times more than he was making here? I mean, I don't know. Somebody gave you 5 times more than you're making. This isn't him jumping ship. I know it looks like that to some people, but I do believe there's a lot of, he wants to get out of Danny's way. He came in here and gave it these 3 years and really did lay the foundation for the defense. Danny knows his defense. Danny can run this defense. And now they got to get better offensively. You know what the challenges are. The challenges are obvious. Everybody understands that. But I that's my take on it. That's my perspective, but I know you've got yours. 505-246-0610. We invite that. You can get into the NFL, man. It was crazy yesterday. Get into that wonderful Lobo victory on the pit floor last night, 82-74. We can go into bowl games, Rocky Long conversation, because it was an insane week. Oh, by the way, I heard the World Cup was like the best World Cup final ever, and we haven't hit that yet. So you're welcome to go there. Boom. JJ's blowing his freaking mind. 505-246-0610. We'll get to the phones and get to your opinions when we return. It's the holiday season, and you're running out of time, huh? Wondering what to get everyone else on your list? Don't forget to take care of you. Make sure you are on your list this holiday season. Feel better and look better with NuMale. Are you experiencing hair loss? Maybe dealing with thinning hair? Men and ladies, give NuMale a call. They utilize state-of-the-art, clinically proven ways to regrow hair. Their professionals walk you through the process, and then you choose the option that's best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells, deepen your hair follicle, stops hair loss, you regrow hair. An FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser that is proven to regrow hair. Neograft hair transplants, producing natural-looking results in less than a week. And no linear scarring. Men and ladies, call NuMale at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at NuMale, NuMale.com. And gentlemen, if you're dealing with things like fatigue, weight gain, even erectile dysfunction, NuMale can help you with that as well. Look better, feel better. Call NuMale at 505-652-1688, or online at NuMale.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudal with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first.
Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
The perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
that transition threes up, and it's hit at the buzzer by Ian Koenigsberg.
Picture perfect execution. Ball it hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Kalb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Kalb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Kalb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually have. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera. I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Kalb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Kalb puts it down. Brian Kalb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network.
Just good, unbelievable NFL football. That Vikings comeback was silly. The Raiders-Patriots game yesterday was bonkers. Jaguars beat the Cowboys yesterday. Bengals coming back from all the way down to beat the Buccaneers. And then bowl games and the Lobo victory in the pit last night, World Cup. I mean,
I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning.
Why is that?
Because A-Marie was at that game.
At the Vikings game?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right.
With her Colts husband.
That's right. That's right. Yep. No, I'm looking forward to that as well. All right, let's go. Ken, good morning to you. How are you?
Good, yeah. Good, guys. Appreciate the answering the phone here and allowing me to speak. I think everything you said was absolutely true. There were so many good things. Lobo basketball was absolutely phenomenal. What an amazing game. I think when Udeze gets in foul trouble, I'd like to see Javonte start to get into the middle a little more, and hopefully his shot can come from inside out and not just try to push that three-point shot, which he keeps missing. So everything you said was amazing, and then the one black eye, the one bad news was, again, Lobos football. That was the only bad news all weekend. Everything else was amazing. I think Pitino is showing how good of a coach he is, and this is going to be wonderful to see the Lobos, how far they can take it this year. Lobo football, how many points did we give up last year in our defense? Do you guys know that on the top of your head?
I don't
like
know.
28?
Oh, you mean per game? Per game, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't have it.
I think it was like 28, something like that. So that, I mean, we're saying that's the strength of our team last year. Yeah, so that was the strength of our team because it's Rocky Long. He still was giving up a lot of points. But now the strength, quote unquote, of our team is gone. I don't know how you can sugarcoat this. I mean, you could sit there and say, well, he's going to go out and get another Rocky Long or better. Because we definitely need to get better on the defensive side of the ball because we did give up a lot of points. So who are you going to get? And then, we have to win 6 games next year. If we don't win 6 games next year, I would say Gonzalez is pretty much fired. And that sucks. That's not good. But I don't see how he can go get an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator to get better than we were last year. So I love to sugarcoat it. I love to be positive because I'm a huge Lobo fan. But I just don't see that happening, guys. So thanks for your time, man.
Thanks, Ken. All right, so they gave up 26 points per game. They were on the field a lot, scored 13 points per game. Look, there's no sugarcoating. I mean, nobody's thrilled that Rocky Long's gone. Let's be clear. And can they get? He said they can't get better offensively with a better offensive coordinator. Sure, they can. They have to, right? That's what he's got to go do.
Yeah, defensively, Danny can call the defense. It's a strength of Danny Gonzalez is the defense. That's what he, ground himself in, being a Rocky Long disciple. So I'm not worried about the defense. Losing Rocky Long just looks bad, then more so than it's going to have an effect on the defense, in my opinion. Because in terms of scheme, play calling, Danny can do that. They'll elevate someone at DC, but I expect Danny to probably be doing a lot of the defensive play calling himself in the season. But it comes down to players, man. You lose A.J. Halsey, Ronald Wilson goes in, and can you get enough in here from the portal to compete in one season?
Frank, good morning to you. How are you, Frank?
Hey, good morning, Jeff. Hey, congratulations on a great bowl game again.
Thank you.
And I want to say thanks to the Paternal family for putting on a great game last night. And I just got a couple of things. I was going to ask you, is the Mountain West still connected to the bowl game?
Yeah.
And, I don't know if everybody remembers that the Mountain West did win the Bowl Cup last year, and we're already 2-0 this year. And I was wondering, was there any other teams you were considering for the bowl game, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, Frank, here's how this went. We're still Mountain West and pooled on the other side. Here's what happened. When the ABC thing became a probable, or at least a possible, that we could get slid into that primetime ABC slot, we really started working on a match of them. And BYU had a contract with the ESPN Bulls. We're an ESPN Bowl. And I made it pretty clear I wanted BYU, and they made it pretty clear they wanted to come here. And so we're working on a matchup, and there wasn't a lot there because they had already played 3 of the bowl-eligible teams in the Mountain West, Wyoming, Boise State, and Utah State this year. Fresno State won the league, so they went to the Jimmy Kimmel LA
This
Bowl.
report is sponsored.
And San Diego State wanted to go to Hawaii. And so there was San Jose State left. And just matchup-wise, we said, all right, well, let's see what we can do on the pool side. And as long as we as ESPN Bowls take care of all of our Mountain West obligations, and we did, we found homes for all of the teams. That's where we're able to create the flexibility and go into the American Athletic Conference and find a really good SMU team. So, yeah, we're going to – I mean, this is the first time we haven't been Mountain West. I would assume the majority of the time – well, not assume. The majority of the time we will be. But that's how that matchup came about.
I see. And another thing about the NFL, did you see the Buccaneer fake punt yesterday?
I'm not sure I did.
Everybody knew it was a fake in the huddle except for the running back, and I thought that was a turning point for Cincinnati.
All right, man. I appreciate. Yeah, I gotta go because I gotta hit this break. But Frank, don't be a stranger. All right. Thanks for the call. We're going to hit more when we come back. But, JJ, does that make sense on the Mountain West thing?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're still a Mountain West, but there just was no really – the right way to go was this way because BYU was something that we wanted. We had an opportunity for this. I mean, heck, JJ, now that's a Power 5 team, BYU. They're a Big 12 team now. And as their final game is Independence, it made work. Going back to phones, we get back on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This holiday, check out Origins, a
We would
brand
like
new
to thank
Audible
the
original.
following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses.
Around here, Lobo basketball 82-74 over Iona in the pit last night. And JJ, I'm going to continue to use the word familiar. It wasn't the greatest pit game ever, but it was one of the better nights that we've had Lobo basketball in a while. It was a familiar feel, great energy at the pit. Terrific NFL stuff. I've had a fun day at the bowl. Big weekend around here, and people are reacting. So we'll go back to the phones. Ready?
Dude, it was unbelievable. And I'll have to tell you my World Cup story too about what happened yesterday.
Jeffrey, thanks for holding. What's happening, Jeffrey? Nothing? Is that on my end? We do it again? Oh, that's on my end. What's up, man? I'm new to this whole thing. Hello, Jeffrey.
You're new? How you guys doing, man? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a long minute. Good to hear you.
Good to hear you too, man. Hey, a couple things. First, thanks for putting the Rocky Long thing into context with the guy you just called kind of bashing a little bit on defense. It's like when you don't have an offensive game, your defense is going to be on the field a lot longer, and when that happens, you tend to give up more points. So I don't think it's a matter of Rocky being a bad DC. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have gone to Syracuse. It's a matter of needing a complete program to put everything in its place and have it working optimally. So anyway, one thing before I talk about Lobo basketball, World Cup, we got to talk about it. I think it's so special. We should have it once every 16 years. What do you think?
That'll make it even more special, see? Yes.
It's amazing. It's so special. If we could have it every 16 years, that would be great. Anyway, is there a better person at getting the ball up to court in our conference, and probably one of the top in the country, like House does?
Yeah, the speed in which now he's out of control every once in a while, but that extra gear he has is you kind of forget it. Watching it, especially live, there's something to it, man. There's something really to it. I think he's been terrific, and JJ, you and I have talked about this with Mash and the big guys getting all of the love. I think there's been a little extra incentive to his game. Jeff, I don't know what you think.
I fully agree. I was there last night, and look, Pitino Sr. is my goat. He's my favorite all-time coach, regardless of what happened at Louisville, whatever. And I think his defenses have been pretty legendary over the years, and they were getting House the ball in double coverage. He was breaking it and getting up the court, like with guys trying to sprint next to him, like a step behind him. And when you have that kind of speed, you're going to break down defenses that want to play that press that Senior likes to put on you. So I was really impressed, because what happened last night was it was speed kills. That's what killed Iona, is the speed of the Lobos, and a lot of that had to do with House getting down the court right away and getting that offense set. And I know it got a little close at the end, but most of that was just due to some little bit of sloppy play. But I felt that when I was watching House. I don't know if we've had a player that quick in a long time off the ball. I mean, Williams was quick, but he wasn't that quick.
Yeah, I agree with that, JJ.
No, it's just the true point guard quickness, athleticism, the stop on a dime stuff. It's not one at that level.
He's good. Now, Jeff, hey, don't be a stranger, man. It's great to hear you. I hope you're well, and good to hear you.
For sure. Have a good day, you guys.
All right, see you. Yeah. Fred, good morning. How you doing, Fred?
Hey, I'm doing good, guys. Hey, I didn't get to go to either game. You're going to die. Why I didn't get to go, I got COVID on Thursday. I went because I had a sore throat, and I thought, well, God, if I'm going to sit through the New Mexico Bowl game, I got to make sure I'm feeling good. I don't want to feel terrible. So I go there thinking I got strep, and instead I got COVID, so I couldn't go to either game. But I just want to tell you, I watched the bowl game on TV, and it was great on TV. The thing that's so funny is that when have you ever seen a BYU quarterback win a ball game and throw for 47 yards or 42 yards or whatever it was, 47 yards? It was just unusual to see this kid. And then the Peters kid, no one said anything because I don't know if anybody realized it, but that's the fourth-string quarterback that was
making his first
quarterbacking because, Hall getting hurt, and then the second guy not wanting to play for BYU anymore. The third guy had a kind of a sore toe, sore foot or something, or ankle or something, and so here they're starting the fourth-string quarterback. But what a great game. I loved everything about it on TV, too, because I'm watching everything on TV, and the New Mexico True thing, featuring that the Alamogordo guys going 154 miles an hour, and then all the tourist attractions and stuff. It just was great. I just thought it was really good, and so I can just tell you on TV, it was terrific, though, and the crowd I thought really was good. It was really good because of the being so cold and stuff. I thought it was great. It was loud. It was really good. So great job again, Jeff. You always do such a great job. Hey, and then the New Mexico Lobo basketball team. Oh gosh, what a great game that was. Here's another ironic thing. What did they do? They dominated the offensive boards with 18 second chance points and all the things that this other team did, but we shot 56%.
We played well.
56%.
Hey, Fred, we're at the top of the hour, but the music's playing, so I got to go. Feel better, man. Feel better, and I appreciate the kind words. All right, see you. Another hour to go, JJ. You and me and Steph and Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 690 Sports Center.
From a 17-point deficit to beat the Cowboys 40-34 in overtime.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
7 o'clock in the morning. 7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother?
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
All right, it's open for you now, and this is going to be an hour of everything. We're going to hit World Cup, the NFL, the Raiders game, the end of that, the Cowboys losing, Chiefs getting by the Texans, the Lions win again, Lobo victory on the floor last night over Iona, 82-74, and the atmosphere in there was insane. Richard Pitino was with us this morning. If you want to get on the bowl game, you can. The Rocky Long situation with them going Syracuse. Jeff, JJ, Steph, Adrian. JJ's a beautiful. What town did you tell me you were in Florida?
Odessa, Florida. So
Yeah.
just outside of Tampa.
Yeah. How's the weather?
Not too bad. It's, I think like high 50s, be like in the 60s today.
Good living. It's good living. All right. 505.
There's some rain, but it might have been tears from Tom Brady yesterday.
How about that in Tampa? They were up big, and then Joey Thorough comes through and comes back. And the Bengals, look, I'm going to tell you, the Bengals are the sneaky team again to get back to the Super Bowl. Everybody wants to talk Bills and Chiefs, as they should. Chargers are playing well. The Bengals are the defending AFC champions, and look, they had a rough start. They look really good to me.
Nothing sneaky about Cincinnati anymore, man. The people are talking them up over Kansas City. I think that they're better than the Kansas City Chiefs right now on both sides of the football. I think the Bills-Bengals would be a fantastic AFC championship game. And Tampa Bay, another game where you're just like, how can you not put this together? And we had a caller reference the fake punt. It was Giovanni Bernard. The ball was snapped to him. He was not expecting it. He falls on it, but that led to a third quarter collapse where then Tampa Bay would turn the football over on multiple possessions after that. Tom Brady looked bad in the second half, and they essentially gift wrapped the game to the Bengals in the third quarter, and then Cincinnati settled in the fourth quarter and was like, thank you very much. We're going to take this game over, and we're on to the next one.
Yeah, it was what a day. What a day. All right, before we hit the phones, I'm going here in a second. World Cup yesterday was – people are telling me the best ever World Cup final, and it was sensational. And then Jeff said, to make it even more special, do it once every 16 years instead of once every 4. Your perspective, and I know you got a little story on this.
It was an unbelievable World Cup final. You look at Messi, and he is one of the greatest of all time. Mbappe, he's an up-and-comer. A way I try to compare it, Messi right now, let's say he's like Steph Curry, and then Mbappe is like Luka Doncic. So you got the young and hungry kid coming up, trying to get after one of the greats. Both of them perform at the highest level. Mbappe, back-to-back goals in like a span of 3 minutes with just 10 minutes to go in the game to tie it. Unbelievable drama. But what tells you just how big this sporting event is, so it was perfect timing. We were getting off the plane in Fort Worth like right after Mbappe scored his second goal. And then for that period of the end of regulation into extra time and PKs, the amount of people, like everyone, I don't know if you're just a sports fan, if you're just the people that just wanted to know what was going on, that started to crowd around every TV that had the World Cup on. It was insane. Like the airport almost came to a stop for penalties. And I'm sure there's people that watched and then had a race, you know, to get to their plane. So I'm glad we had a little bit of an extended layover. But it was fascinating just watching how many people stopped and then just got into the moment and were enjoying it and watching that game. And it was really fun to see just how out of nowhere the airport turned into this World Cup watch party yesterday for an unbelievable finish, and Messi gets his World Cup.
They got it finally. Yeah, it was something special, the way the whole thing played out. It certainly was, and you can get in on that as well. 505-246-0610. Hello, Edward. Edward.
C'est incroyable. Translated from French. That was incredible. What an assessment, JJ. Thank you for sharing that. I couldn't have even dreamt that to say it better. I'm not a huge soccer aficionado. I rely on JJ's content expertise. But that was amazing, and we are so fortunate to see that. Messi, in my opinion, is living and walking artwork. A guy, I mean, he's amazing, and I'm so glad he won. Even though I have heritage from France, and they could have repeated as World Cup champs, it didn't break my heart to see Messi win it. And of course, they do consider me the Ronaldo of the Southwest. They wouldn't have crushed me if he had won it also. But I'm so happy for Messi, and I think we were privileged to see that. You know, I tuned into the Lobo basketball game on Fox Sports, and the first thing I noticed, and I recall I referenced it earlier, was that freaking $3,000 Armani suit that the coach was wearing.
Pretty nice, huh?
That's how you do it, my friends. That was clean. You know, maybe it was Hugo Boss, but the Italians like to stick with Giorgio Armani. So I'm happy for the Lobo program. I think great things are coming. It's good. It's, you know, good for this community. But, Jeff, it would be remiss of me to say, not to say, you are the man. That was an amazing event that you put together this weekend. The game was great. To go for two at the end of the game, it was a thrilling, compelling game. The crowd looked good. The field looked good. It was on ABC, one of the major three, you know, networks. Congratulations. I'm just thoroughly impressed with what you do. The NFL, I'm embarrassed as a Patriots fan, not just because of yesterday. They lost the Minnesota game because they run into the punter. They just lose games repeatedly. It's fallen apart, and it's embarrassing. You know, a team that had the greatest run in the history of the NFL for 20 years, that prided themselves on execution and situational football, it's a disaster. It's a complete and utter disaster, and I'm just disappointed. JJ's right about Cincinnati. When I see Joe Burrow play, I see Joe Montana reincarnate. And I think they're going to get to the Super Bowl. I think that they're so dynamic. And don't sleep on those Chargers, because they're learning how not to charger. And that throw that their quarterback made yesterday, running to the right, throwing off 1 foot, 39 yards in the air in a 2x2 window, there's only 3 guys in the league that can make that throw. Cowboy fans, you're going on the road. Good luck. Good luck going on the road in the playoffs. You have a shot. Your defense, which was the strength of your team, is now a liability. And Dak's not bad. I'm not here to dump on Dak. It's not his fault. But good luck going on the road in the playoffs. Right. Anyway, thank you for letting me share my thoughts. I'm thoroughly elated with what happened in this town. Congratulations, Jeff.
Thanks.
Nice, very well done.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Edward. And I didn't call the 2-point conversion. I didn't. I thought he would go for 2, but
it was the right move into that game. Bowl game on the line, like go for 2, man. Either go home or win it right there.
Of course it was. That's what, you know, I saw Brett Lashley after the game, after the press conference, and you've heard me say this 1,000 times about this bowl game and other bowl games. And I got the email, oh, Jeff, there's too many bowl games. Whatever. There's not. And this isn't, I'm not calling you a hater because you have a differing opinion, David. I'm just telling you, there's not. You don't have to watch them. You don't have to watch any of them. You don't have to. I mean, but millions of people do. But JJ, when you see the emotion on both sides, and I've told you this, I've done this 17 years. I've seen 34 teams of emotion. You will never convince me, never, that these games don't matter. You won't. I watched the jubilation and what it meant to BYU, and I was in the SMU locker room and saw the devastation of losing the New Mexico Bowl and what it meant to SMU. You'll never convince me after talking to fans who are as high as they are and as low as they are after a game. You won't. Now, look, man, I'm not telling you it's the national championship game. I'm not telling you it's the CFP. I'm not. But I'm telling you it matters to these people. And I ask you all the time, for whom are we doing this? And for those student athletes and those fan bases, and I was in both athletic directors' suites during the third quarter. And I know how much it meant to them and to their boosters and to their presidents. So it's, and I talked to Red after the game, and I kind of joked, man, did you go for it? You know, because you were freezing. But you know, he knew I was joking. And no, he says it was the right thing. He says I had two linemen out, their left guard and their right tackle were out, and we had a chance to win the game on one play, and we thought we had the right play. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, and they played the game without their best receiver.
They what?
Because they played their game without their best offensive player.
Yeah, Rashee Rice didn't play.
Because he wanted to focus on the next level and still be in
he
that
was banged up too.
situation to win it at the end. That's all you want. And this, dude, the bowl games are like anything else in sport. It's going to matter more to those involved. There's very few things that resonate across the board, say like the NFL does. But you talk about bowl games just the way you talk about Major League Baseball, anything else. Like, for who's playing in it, it matters and it resonates. Bowl season itself does have crossover appeal to football fan, but bowl games are no different than any other sport. And because not everyone is interested in every single thing that is going on, but when you're playing something, you have two teams going head to head, there's an investment, and when your team is playing, you want to win no matter what is at stake.
Well, there's too many bowl, you know, I like I said, I got it. For who? For you? Then don't watch, dude. Like 100%. But, and this isn't, my opinion is better than yours. This isn't, I'm hating on you because you have a different opinion. I certainly have a different perspective. But too many bowl games for whom? For you? Okay, cool, dude. There's too many concerts. I didn't go to that one. There's too many concerts. I can't go there. There's too many plays, Steph. I can't go to the Nutcracker this year. Because I went to go see Wicked. Like, for who? Don't go. Don't watch. That's cool, dude. But to take the experience that I witness on an annual basis, and granted, I've got a different perspective, and I've got different exposure, and I have different access, and I understand that. But to experience firsthand the emotion that I get to experience and watch highs and lows every year, man, there's not too many bowl games. Don't take it away from those guys. And again, my perspective is, I understand we're not the CFP, the College Football Playoff. I got it. What are they playing for? Maybe you don't understand what they're playing for, and that's cool. But I'll tell you what our community got out of this bowl game. The exposure that New Mexico and Albuquerque and the University of New Mexico got from this bowl game on ABC and gets annually on ESPN, kind of priceless. So, no, there's not too many bowl games. You don't have to watch them. But I'll tell you, it was quite the experience. Bruin James, good morning.
Hey, good guys. Yeah, two things, guys. So and I'll let you guys go.
Thank you.
You're all right. There's not enough bowl games because as a fan of college football and I've met I go to college games and you meet these guys before they turn pro and you get their autograph or you talk to their parents or you sit next to some guy you don't even know and you find out that's their mom and dad and you sit there and talk and you meet these guys at their college level and you can follow them as you go through their professional career. You know, let's say he's a 5th round pick, but he turns out to be outstanding wide receiver, and he's all pro. And you could sit there as a kid or, you know, whatever, and say, hey, I seen him at the Mexico Bowl.
That's right.
And he was cool, you know?
That's right.
So that's the way it is. I agree. But bowl games they show the city that they're in, you know, and all that, and that perspective and stuff like that, and it shines on the city that they're at, whatever bowl game is, whatever.
No doubt.
So that being said, anyway, I want to give a shout out to my Bruins. They made an East Coast trip. We thumped Maryland, and then we thumped Kentucky. Hey, look, that was an East Coast trip that we could easily just bailed it in. We didn't. We played hard. Kentucky came back, gave us a run. Tiger Campbell and Jalen Clark. Sam Buell County, baby.
You're in.
Just a shout out, man.
All right, man.
So,
All right, enjoy the week.
All
man.
right, you guys have a good one.
Thanks, James. All right, 505-246-0610. Now, good week for you, still late too. All right, I got a bunch of correspondence from you, a bunch to get through. Got some more thoughts on the World Cup. I know you do too. Got to talk about the Cowboys, man. That's a tough loss. Not because I think they're going to lose a division, but you got to win that game. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Buying a home? Rocket Mortgage
We would
will
like
cover
to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
What a weekend, huh? JJ's got some excitement. He's in Florida. He gets Louisville women's basketball tomorrow. Gets Old Dominion the next day against Mississippi State. We'll have those games for you here on the Sports Animal. Me and JJ and Stephanie and Adrian. Thanks for being with us on Monday of Christmas week. I better start my Christmas shopping too.
Me too.
I think it's time. JJ, you get it all done before you leave?
No. Got some stuff to do on Thursday.
Yeah, do it in Florida. You got the time.
You're going to be hitting some airport
I know,
gift shops.
I know. Here's a snow globe from
Here's a postcard.
Here you go, kid. You know what? Addie still has them on the windowsills in her bedroom. But when she was young, and I traveled quite a bit, I would always bring her a snow globe back from wherever I was. And so she's got them from like all over the map. And it's like we're both looking at each other. It's like, all right, it's probably time to get rid of them. But we'll probably put them in a box somewhere and laugh at them one day. But yeah, that was like I was always gone. I would always bring them bring her a snow globe and something from every town. It's probably time now, huh? All right, Don, how you doing? What's up?
Hey Jeff, how you doing, man?
Good, Don. How you living?
Doing all right, man. Hey, I hope this doesn't come across wrong to you, Jeff, but don't you dare apologize to anybody for anything. And I think Conor McGregor said it best when he said, I'd like to take this time to apologize to absolutely no one. You did a bang-up job. You always do. And you know what? I wouldn't even give all of these people that are negative any time. I wouldn't even think about them. The game was outstanding, man. And you know what? The hard work that you put into it, my man, you are to be patted on the back time after time after time. Great job, Jeff. You are so good for this community. Thank you for what you do.
That means
now, moving on to other things.
Thank you.
You bet, man. Moving on to some other things. This weekend was probably the most amazing sports weekend I've ever experienced in my 55 years of life. From Coach Prime losing the way that he did in that championship game. I don't know if you saw that, but I felt so bad for that kid to drop that pass in the end zone to tie the game or try to tie the game. To Edwards' favorite coach, Dan Campbell, bringing the Lions around. That team is so much fun to watch.
I agree.
To the Lobos, and you know what? I'm going to go out and say it, barring injuries, and if this unit stays intact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is the team that reaches the Sweet 16 this year. I think they're that good. So, Jeff, no apologies. Don't you ever apologize for anything. Ignore all the haters and all the negative backlash that people I don't know why they do it, but you ignore that. Great job, Jeff. There's just not enough time to talk about this sports weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Don. Sweet 16, JJ? Is that ambitious?
Well, that's a step further than I went, because I said this is an NCAA tournament team, and if they don't make the NCAA tournament, it'll be a failure. That is tough to say. This team has to advance to Sweet 16. This is an Elite 18 because the matchups, man. You don't know what they're going to see on the other side. You could be feeling great about yourself, and then your seed gets a little wonky, and then you end up matched up against just an unbelievable team in the second round. So you just never know when it comes to that.
It's matchups. But by the same token, you got to be good, and it could be. Hey, I'm going to circle back to one thing. And Ray Birmingham posted something the other day and giving me all this credit. First of all, I don't deserve all this credit. Okay, I don't, and I appreciate the kind words. And you know, when you're the leader and you're the boss, you get the credit and the blame, and I understand that. I've got this team of people with whom I work, and you know most of them, JJ, and they come back every year. Monica Roberts runs the New Mexico Bowl. She is the most amazing human. But I'm going to give you a list of names real quick, if it's okay, just to give them their love, because I've been getting all this love, JJ, and they do the work. They come to me when they need stuff. But Monica Roberts runs that place. Kerry Colbert is our operations manager. He came back from Texas. He's been doing it for 17 years. Ryan Kazmierski, Esther Lovato, Cara Dana, Johnny Thielander, Amber Martinez, Lydia Martinez, Wes Henderson, Jensen Fay, Josh Castle. My nephew Dylan came in this year and actually worked his butt off. Those are the people who do it. And it's, you have no idea. Well, you have a little idea. People have no idea. My nephew's been to this game since he was like a baby. And he just finished his first semester at Oregon. And my brother said, hey, I'm going to fly Dylan down, and can you put him to work? I said, yeah, I'll put him to work. And he fell into place. He says, I had no idea. He says, all I knew is I go to the events, they're really fun, and there's some people running around. And the detail that goes into it. And I mean, no matter, you guys we're all in business, right? Nobody understands what Steph and Marie do back there every day. You know, they don't understand how hard your job is, right? And you're the one who should get all the credit. You keep us on the air. I mean, what Adrian's doing to do his job. JJ, you get it. But Don, thanks for the kind words. And I'm proud to be, I guess, the leader of that group. And you know, ultimately, I imagine I'm responsible for that, but they're the ones who do the work, and you've seen it, and I am beyond grateful. I will put our team, and I don't say my team, I say our team. I will put our team against any team in the bowl business. The small staff that we have and the product we put out every year, I could not be more proud of that group of people, and I love those people. So, thanks for indulging me on that.
Got to have the players to win the game.
Yeah, right. So good. You never had a good coach without good players, huh?
Yeah.
No, it's. Thank you. That's a perfect analogy. You got to have good players to win the game, and man, I'm blessed. All right. Do you were you surprised by the way the World Cup ended with the champ? Who were your favorites going?
I was leaning France because I thought they were the better team, but Argentina maximized everything. They got out of Julian Alvarez early in the tournament. I thought defensively they played so much better than you'd expect them to play. Even giving up those 2 late goals in the second half, it was just an unbelievable game. And Messi was still the best player on the field, the orchestrator, stepping up in the biggest moments, whether it was the first penalty kick that he converts, stepping up as the first PK taker in penalties and putting it back in the net, just setting the tone and living up to the legend, the myth that is Messi.
It was something, man. What a special, special weekend. All right, we got more time for you to react. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. You know what I forgot? I forgot we have a text line. I probably should open that thing, too, and see what kind of love there is on there. He says, tongue fully impacted and chic. I got a bunch of those, too, I probably should get to. So come on in, and wow. All right, the world needs new refs. It's the first thing I saw on the text line as I opened it up. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Who's watching your home this holiday season? You've got packages being dropped off. Maybe you're taking a little vacation, getting out of town. Bad guys are out there. Keep them away with the good guys. Call IPS, International Protective Services. Watched my home for years. They secure what my family and I have worked so hard to build. And with the officer shortage and property crime on the rise, IPS is a vital part of this community right now. You see them everywhere protecting homes and businesses all across the Borque. Give them a call because they will work for you. Since 2006, IPS has provided security for homeowners all over our town. highly trained armed guards, 24-hour patrols committed to our city and to your protection. International Protective Service, give a call at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
Telling it like it is. Dak Prescott, his record.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us.
What a weekend. The world needs new reps is what it says up here. All right, I'll give it to you. Morning, Jeff. The game was too cold, too dark, too many people, too little people. Sarcasm. The game was great and had a blast. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to next year from Chris. Thank you. All right. Text line, JJ. We've been talking about Lobo basketball last night at Pitt. My reaction, my response, I don't know, is response even right? My impression of last night was and is last night felt familiar. Last night felt like the Pit. One of the greatest win ever in the Pit. It wasn't even a Pit game, I don't think, but it felt like the Pit, right? And I think you think that's a fair way to put it?
Yeah, I think it was as close to a Pit game I've seen in a long time. Okay. Just because of the atmosphere, you have 14,500 people, and it was all over the place. It was, I saw some stuff on social media of people that I haven't seen at a game in quite some time, and they were at the Iona game on a Sunday afternoon. And this team is definitely resonating throughout the community, throughout the fan base. The energy is back because if you look going into the game, the Lobos, at least last time I saw before tip-off, they were 2.5-point favorites. They're home favorites, but it's against a good team. It ended up being a good game throughout it, so it's not going to go down as an iconic moment. I think it's going to be up there because of the Rick Pitino versus Rich Pitino piece to it.
Yeah.
That's an incredible storyline for fans to grasp onto, but getting people back in there excited, the roar of the crowd, it definitely resonated. I saw multiple people too in the college basketball world commenting on the atmosphere that as they were watching the game on TV. So it was a big moment for the program.
All right, so here's a text on the text line about it last night. He said, the Pit last night during a fan-supported and media-hyped game involving an undefeated UNM wasn't any different than it was years ago when fans said no and the media said go. In fact, the difference from now is a UNM team that's winning is worth the ticket and could end up doing well this season. Yet 11-0 hardly makes UNM NCAA tournament worthy. When Richard Pitino was first hired on at UNM, he stated the Pit, the fan base, seeing his father's success therein as reasons the team he'd coach would do well. I don't know what this is, EA being nonsense. What mattered being the team winning, because the fans to be paying, showing, caring, and cheering. Hopefully Richard Pitino's team performance continues. Sincerely, a member of the tight collar, short leash, no nonsense or nonsense avoiding club.
What does that even mean?
No difference than years past.
Like none of that stuff makes. Sometimes people try too hard to be on the other side. People try too hard to say I'm fair. I see through the nonsense. Y'all are the dumb ones. I'm about the truth. We're telling you the truth here. The team wasn't good. There was no reason to go. There was apathy with Paul Weir at the end. Then you have a COVID season. And then you have a team that showed signs but wasn't great last year. And now you have a team with all the pieces. That's what we're saying. There was a reason to be excited. There was a reason 14,500 fans showed up for that game. The beginning of your text was nonsense, dude. Like, stop trying so hard.
Well, he said it was no different than years ago. It's almost kind of what I said, right?
That's what we're saying. It's getting back to that. There was a reason. It's the Alford era where you wanted to be there. You wanted to see the team compete. You haven't felt that for a while because there was no need to be there with some of the teams. You're getting that right now.
It was familiar. So, yeah, if it was no different than back then, then you're getting kind of where you want to be. And so, that's what familiar means.
Dude, he's just trying too hard to not agree with maybe something that comes out of one of our mouths. Like,
Omar says, Dallas Cowboys are young, Jeff. We'll learn that we are everyone's cherry blazer game. Every team's looking to save their season by beating the NFL's $8 billion franchise. We can't look past anyone. A Texas stadium-sized target on our back. With that being said, losing wasn't the worst thing. Coach Jones can rest our key players going into the state tournament. We weren't going to win this tough division. You weren't going to win this tough division? You will win this division. No, you won't win the division. I mean, Philly's where they are. You weren't going to win it anyway. I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's still a bad loss, buddy.
Yeah.
Because it takes that opportunity away.
Too many bowls when you have a game Monday the 19th at 12:30 because that's the only slot it can be fit in when nobody can watch because they're at work or in school. There are too many bowls, but not for the teams playing and not for the community in which it's held. See? But Rod can't watch it, so. I mean, there must be too many. What's that, Steph? All right. Yep, I'll go there in a minute. Gopher says, can we fire Jeff Saturday? Hamma's sounding good today, he says. Can we fire Jeff Saturday? I'll tell you what, man.
It's going to be tough for Jim Irsay to keep Jeff Saturday around after this. I think that was the ultimate goal, was somehow Jeff Saturday does like enough with a bad football team that Jim Irsay can be like, look, we'll give Jeff Saturday the opportunity to rebuild this team. Jeff Saturday is going to be the guy that takes us forward. You know what Jeff Saturday is going to have to deal with then? A complete rebuild. The Colts are not close. To lose a 33-0 lead is on everyone. It's on Jeff Saturday. It's on Matt Ryan. It's on that entire roster because even a bad team shouldn't blow a game like that, but somehow they found a way to have the most historic comeback. Do you realize that teams up, because this was the first time ever, the Bills had the 32-point comeback. which is crazy. So this is the first time ever a team has come back from 33 points down. And it wasn't like, oh, it's 33 points down. They scored 10 points going into halftime. It was 33-0 at halftime. That record is like 1,500 something and one now. And that one loss is Jeff Saturday and the Colts. And in the offseason, you got to blow this up, man. Jonathan Taylor, he's going to be playing for someone else next season. You got to start rebuilding right now if you're the Colts.
Hoser, what's up?
Hey, a couple of things. First of all, on the Rocky Long thing, just like everybody else, when I first saw that report come through, I was thinking, oh man, what's going on? Like, what's going on in the program? Like JJ said. But after just doing some more research and just kind of talking to people and reading, I think the perspective has changed. So it just seems like this is an opportunity that Long wanted for the longest time, and it's just something that he wants to check off his list. And I think when you see it that way, I'm like, okay, you don't blame him for going to a Power 5 school, and one that's already been running his system, and now he's going in there and just to see what he can do with that. And at his age, these opportunities are not going to come too often. So I can see why he's taken the job. And so once you get that perspective, you kind of feel a little different. And like JJ said earlier, Danny Gonzalez, he can run the defense from there. So yeah, you start to feel better about the situation now. Like you said before, you still got to get those recruits in. That's still a big deal. We don't know who's going to run an offense, what type of offense we're going to run. So that still remains to be seen. On the Cowboys, it's like, oh man, you just got to win those games. I don't care if you win by 2 or 3. I mean, you got to win these down the stretch. But it is what it is. As Marty used to say, it's a week-to-week league. So who knows? Maybe next week they'll beat the Eagles, and then the Eagles will get them back. I don't know. It's crazy, but it's definitely enjoyable.
All right. When you say want to check it off his list, what do you think Rocky wanted to check off his list? What do you mean?
Just being able to go to that a Power 5 school. Because he's been a head coach, in a non-Power 5.
Yeah, but
school.
he was at Oregon State. He was at UCLA. He was a defensive coordinator at UCLA. It's not like he's never done it before.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. So I don't know. To me, I thought maybe that's maybe what he wanted to do, just kind of run this system and maybe in a bigger conference. But
yeah, fair enough. All right, man. Enjoy the week.
You too. Bye bye.
Yeah, I just think this was an opportunity for him to go coach at that level one more time. And while I don't ever think it's about the money, I mean, the money's got to be nice, right?
Yeah.
He's making $300,000 here, which is a good living.
Did they announce what he's getting at
Close
Syracuse?
to $1.5 million.
Man. So because the last Syracuse DC making like 700,000.
Yeah,
so
they loaded up. They've been wanting Rocky for a while.
They threw it at him.
I heard 1.2 to 1.5, and then bonuses. And so look, man,
dude, that's family money too.
Well, sure it is. Look, we all run out of earning years at some point, right? You want to earn, and he gets to go coach ball. He doesn't have to be the head coach. He's making more money than he was when he was a head coach, and he's good. And this is what he wants to do. He's got an opportunity. Like, while it's not maybe about the money, but the money can be part of it, right?
It can, and it's a hard look. There's not a lot of sugar you can put on it. I do agree with that. The fact that Lobos won 2 games and Rocky's like, all right, see ya. I'm just trying to get out of the way for Danny. I think there's an element probably of that. Like, he doesn't want to see this team struggle again. And then, what if they make a move and ask Rocky to take over? I think that's the last place that he wants to be in, is taking over for Danny Gonzalez if they let him go. And then is he going to step down after that? Because he obviously does not want to be a head coach at this point in his career with how he's handled things. And so I think he's getting a little bit ahead of that situation, which it's there, man. The next couple of years, Danny Gonzalez, and a lot of people think it's now. A lot of people will think it's be after next season. There's going to be a decision made about him being the head coach. And I don't think Rocky Long wants to have to step in if they were to make a move and take over for Danny, even just for a short amount of time.
I think that's part of it. And there was a rumor running around the stadium on Saturday that Danny's leaving. Danny's going to go to Mississippi State and be the defensive coordinator for Zach Arnett. And I asked Danny straight up about that. He said, "I'm not going." There was seeing what Rocky just got to be the defensive coordinator at Syracuse, and knowing what's Danny making, like $720, $750 in that area. Rocky just got $1.5 million to go be the defensive coordinator at Syracuse. I'm going to guess Mississippi State. And Zach's probably throwing a bunch of money at him, saying, "Come on, be my defensive coordinator." Here's, if Rocky made $1.5 million, you think that's on the table at Mississippi State? I'm going to guess it probably could be, right?
It could be.
So, I know
there's a bunch of Bulldogs running around here. Maybe I'll try to
see what you can find.
See what the women's basketball team knows about the football program.
What do you know about it? I know that I know Danny wants to finish his job, and I know so many of you think, and I got the emails. I hear you think he can't. I do believe. Well, I mean, he's going to get the opportunity for another year, and I know he wants to finish this job. 505-246-0610. We'll finish this show when we return on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
This is Bomar Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudal with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first.
Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
A perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is. Look at
how quick this shot. They got a shot up with 5 seconds. Transition 3 is up, and it's hit at the buzzer by Ian Holmesburg.
Picture perfect execution. Ball it hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually have. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera with...
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
29 minutes for Lobo football. Okay.
The time of possession is not the story of this season for the Lobos. It's the fact the offense for New Mexico scored, 8 points per game?
13.
Second half of the season?
8 down the stretch at least or something, but yeah. Yeah. And how many short fields?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when your punter leads the nation in punting by however many he led attempts. But yeah, fair enough. Point me out on the wrong stuff. I'll take that. You're right. All right. I got to get through some of these. Stephanie under the Christmas tree. Jeff, this is an all-week present or just one-day little stocking stuffer? Bourne loves him some you. He loves you. get you one day, or I don't even know the schedule. How long are you here? You here one day or all week? Or
They have me just here one day. Well, just for your show, yes.
Okay. All right. So you'll be on other shows. This is our show.
Yeah,
Steph.
a lot of basketball games this week.
Yeah, our show. All right. Glenn says Steph Katz locked in today. Unlike Lobo fans who I saw in a daze yesterday, they got gut punched when Rocky Long announced he was leaving. Is he bailing because he knows Lobo football gets off to another slow start next year? The cries for him to move over a chair will get louder. I think that's part of it. I do. I absolutely do. What else you want? This one says, Jeff, this is from John. Good job on the game. I didn't go, but I watched. It looked great. I did, however, help my daughter's softball team clean up the stadium, and I have to say, tongue-in-cheek, no seat cushions next year. Holy cow, they were everywhere. How come... we did come out with a bunch of hand warmers, though, so thank you for that. As far as the basketball, that was awesome yesterday. He made me tear up a little bit. I'm ready to back up the Brinks truck and pay this man anything he wants. And sorry about the seat cushions. I don't know what to say. See, you're sitting on cold aluminum benches and it's 25 degrees. I think seat cushions were probably a good move. HB, biggest superstar appearance. Jeff in the House of Strauss or Steph Cat on the OD? I did an hour with Strauss on Friday.
You did
night
an
after the
hour with Strauss?
Function, and then came in and did an hour with Strauss.
Oh, wow.
That's big time.
What's that?
To get an hour, and you probably, said 3 words.
Did you have to yell?
No, he yells.
I know.
Actually, there was one moment where Strauss didn't cut me off for a while, and because he asked,
You're like, "What are you doing here?"
Really, actually, he didn't know the answer. Like, he said this game was created for the Lobos and the Yankees, right? And I said, actually, no. And well, how was it created? And he actually listened to almost that whole thing without jumping in.
He let you talk.
Yeah. Eric talks over people a little bit. That's all right.
You didn't need any anti-venom from the Viper Pit?
No, nobody hit me with that, and there was some beer left over from TJ's Beer Friday show, so I kind of hit the jackpot. Yeah, he says, how hypocritical are Lobo fans? Last week, as player after player left, they were crying, "We need to get rid of the transfer portal. It's killing Lobo football." Wah! Yet last night they were standing and cheering their mercenaries at University Arena. Transfer portal's great when it works in your favor, isn't it?
Yeah, Trent, and we were actually discussing this last week with everything that was going on. The transfer portal for basketball, it's great. You can have a much bigger impact right away. It's a smaller roster. It's a whole lot easier. Football, it's a much bigger challenge because this is not just a bad football team. If the Lobos, say, won 7-8 games this year, went to a bowl game, you'd probably see double the amount of players in their transfer portal. So it is ridiculously difficult in college football right now.
You know, Florida for the Las Vegas Bowl, and I don't know what the final number was when I talked to their executive director last week. They had 29 players either opt out or go into the portal. That's why they lost 33-3.
I don't know what, that is so difficult right now because it is a problem for college football. There does have to be a balance in this because when the NCAA, the one thing that they've done in the last 2 years is they had to pass a waiver saying, hey, if you're using your red shirt, if you've played your 4 games, if your team is in a bowl game, it's okay for you to play one more game. We're not taking away that red shirt because you don't have enough players.
I think that's right. No, I think that's where it's going to. James says, people have lives, Jeff. Why are the women playing on Tuesday afternoon? I can't watch that. I got a big business meeting. Does everyone in academia think everyone else also works on academia and with finals over has the next month off? It's from James. Why are they playing day games?
It's because it's an MTE.
But there's 4 teams.
It's 3 teams.
Three teams? How do you... 3 others or 3 total?
There's 3 total.
Old Dominion, New Mexico, Mississippi State, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
So who's playing it? When you play tomorrow, who do you play tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Old Dominion.
Okay. And then there's no other game?
There's no other game.
Then why, his point's fair, why are they playing in the afternoon?
I don't know. I can ask someone about that.
I don't know, man. I just show up when they tell me to show up. That's totally fair, man. I'm sorry. You're right. All right.
Because it doesn't matter if they play at night. You're probably not going to watch it because it costs $10 to buy it. It's one of those streams.
All right, Mike, good morning to you. What's up, Mike?
Yeah, congratulations to the Lobos. Great victory. I just got one comment. Portnoy, great announcer, but it's play-by-play. Sometimes he says a lot of facts, and I'm waiting to see if the guy made the free throw or not. You know, like Mike Roberts used to say, he dribbles once, dribbles twice, in the air, good, swish. Like, they shoot 2 free throws, and I'm waiting for it. The only way I know that they make that basket is by the crowd. It's supposed to be play-by-play, and it's just corrective criticism. You know, Jeff, when you did that announcing, it was great. Play-by-play, everything. You know, that's all I'm saying. And you know, just a correction, criticism.
No,
you know,
got it, Mike. Yeah.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike. No, I think Rob does a great job. Rob loves the Lobos, and I think Rob does a terrific job. I think one of the hardest things, JJ, sometimes is to get all the information in, right? And you know, keep up on the clock and the score, and make sure you always at 2 free throws, and you talking. So maybe I don't know. I don't know exactly.
And it is hard, but you don't want dead air either while you're just sitting there waiting for them to shoot. So you have to fill that time in with a little information, and then you might get the shot.
No, I think Rob does a great job, actually. All right. David says, Lobo football, Jeff, I respectfully have to disagree with you regarding Rocky's departure. I don't think Rocky's leaving because he wants to get out of Danny's way. I think he sees what's ahead, and the Syracuse job is a perfect opportunity to disassociate himself from Danny. Mm-hmm. Rocky knows more than anyone which players are coming, transfers, recruits, and which players are leaving the program. And the Syracuse job gives him an opportunity to coach at a Power 5 conference with a team who's going to a bowl game every year. Mm-hmm. He won't have to be in a rebuilding mode. Rocky has a lot of pride. I don't think he wants to be a part of a Lobo program. Most likely we will be disbanded after next season. Odds are good that the Lobos will be among the worst teams in America again next year, and who wants to be part of a sinking ship? Even if Syracuse turns out to be a bad team, at least he'll be making 3 or 4 times more than what at UNM. David, I appreciate your opinion. I will bet you whatever you want to bet. That Lobo football will not be disbanded. That this will not be the last season of Lobo football.
It will not be.
I did have a caller who wanted me to ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Whatever happened to Isaiah Chavez?
He was on the team. He was the backup long snapper.
And he got injured, right?
Well, he got suspended.
Oh,
Did he get injured?
I thought he got injured.
Got a little full of himself, maybe.
Maybe that was it.
Maybe.
But is he still part of the team? Is he just like in the background?
No, he's still on the team.
Okay.
Or he was still.
He's
on
just
the
not the
roster.
big player that they thought he was gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
not to be.
He was still on the roster. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610. Utilize it tomorrow. Put it in your phone. Thanks to Richard Pitino. He came on with us today. Appreciate him being there. That was kind of last minute. It was up and yeah. You want me to come on? Yeah. So appreciate that. JJ, have a great trip. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Right? You're with us tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, Steph, thanks for stepping in.
Thank
Great job.
you.
Adrian, great job. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Callan Coward after that. 2 men on come your way at 4. You get Monday Night Football. What do I get, the Rams tonight? Somebody?
Ram it.
Be good to each other, please. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you then.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.